If you've ever felt like your job drains all of your creative energy, I totally understand. As a full-time designer in tech, I've been there, feeling uninspired, burnt out, and too busy to make art for myself. But I've found ways to bring creativity back into my life that feel fun, doable, and actually sustainable. In this video, I'm sharing 5 tips that have helped me stay creative, build better habits, and make real progress on my creative side projects, even with a busy schedule. So let's get into the first tip, and that's to take a class to stay accountable and inspired. If you struggle with motivation, enrolling in an art class, whether in person or online, can provide structure, accountability, and creative community. I recently took an Intro to Comics class at a university's art studio, where I learned the basics of storytelling, panel layouts, and character design. Having assignments and deadlines helped me stay engaged and progressing towards a goal. In-person classes are great for feedback and connection, but if that's not available to you, consider online classes. I've personally used education platforms like Domestika and Skillshare, which are very affordable, especially Domestika. They're always running sales. I actually have a video on my channel about how I created this lettering piece with Procreate on the iPad based on a Domestika course. Check out that video if you're interested in learning more on my full creative process. I'll leave a link in the description below. Another option, many artists and designers offer their own courses. So check to see if your favorite creators offer a course or workshop that walk you through their creative process. The theme here is external structure help keeps you consistent and motivated. The next tip is to work towards a creative project. Instead of just making time for art or pursuing random practice, give yourself a specific project to work on. Ask yourself, what do I really want to create? For me, it's a graphic novel, but I break that big goal down into smaller steps. The first one being taking that Intro to Comics class, then completing small class projects like 4-panel comics and 2-page comics, and then next I'll be expanding to 4 to 8-page comics, then 10 to 20-page stories leading up to a full-length novel. Having a project gives your art practice a purpose, direction, and tangible results. And when you finish the project, you'll feel an immense amount of joy and pride in yourself, and it will propel you forward towards your larger goal. The theme here is setting creative goals makes art more meaningful and sustainable. The third tip is to embrace the ugly sketchbook concept. Not every drawing needs to be a masterpiece. Having a messy experimental sketchbook allows you to create freely without pressure. I recently shared a flip through of my ugly sketchbook, showing how I use it to play with ideas without worrying about perfection. I'll leave the video link below if you want to watch it. Think of it as a creative sandbox, a place to explore, make mistakes, and try new techniques. Also, I highly recommend not using your best sketchbook. You really want to lower the barrier to creating, and when the paper or the sketchbook is too nice, it makes it harder to make a mark on the page. The theme here is lowering the pressure makes it easier to create consistently. Tip number 4 is to try a 30-day art challenge, or a 7-day art challenge, or really any number, it doesn't matter. If you struggle with what to create, daily prompt challenges can help you build a habit without overthinking. October is a popular month for drawing challenges like Inktober or Peachtober, but you can start a prompt list anytime. Just create a list of 30 objects or ideas you're interested in drawing and tick them off one day at a time. Keep it simple. Instead of making polished work, use the challenge to establish a daily or weekly sketching habit. I participated in Peachtober a couple years ago, and it helped make drawing fun again. Plus, having prompts meant I never had to decide what to draw. It also pushed me to draw things I otherwise wouldn't have. The theme here is constraints, and structured challenges make it easier to stay creative. And the last tip, which is very important, find a schedule that works for you. Not everyone can create every day, and that's okay. Instead, work with your natural rhythm and energy levels. For me, on weekdays, I fit in quick sketchbook exercises in the evenings. Since I work full-time during the week, I don't have the time or the energy to invest into complex long-term projects. So instead, I focus on either a smaller portion of a larger project or small exercises just to build up the momentum of creating. On weekends, I set aside larger chunks of time to fully immerse myself into projects. Every week is different, but usually one day on the weekend, I can dedicate several hours to make solid progress on a project. Sometimes it's both. If daily art feels intimidating, try setting a weekly or weekend ritual instead. The theme here is sustainable creativity comes from working with your lifestyle, not against it. These 5 tips have helped me balance art with a full time job and a busy life schedule, and I hope they help you too. The key is finding a structure that works for you, whether it's taking a class, keeping a low pressure sketchbook habit, setting creative goals, or simply carving out time in a way that feels sustainable. What's your biggest struggle when it comes to creating art? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how you approach creativity alongside work and life. And if you're curious to see more of my side projects, I have a 3-part series where I use Taylor Swift song lyrics to create dreamy abstract art with collage, gouache, and a typewriter. Check out the first video in the series next.